Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Transformers Combiner Wars Dragstrip Transformable Action Figure Set from Hasbro. Dragstrip is part of the first wave of Combiner Wars line of action figures and was first released I believe in 2014 for the price of $15 to $20 depending on where you got it. I picked up this particular set in 2015 at a Toys R Us and paid about $19-20 for this set. Taking a closer peek at Dragstrip here, and it's kind of interesting because the first wave of Combiner Wars figures, at least the deluxe versions, were supposed to include a comic, but due to delays, and I don't know what other factors, but I know at least of delays, they were not able to include comics in the first wave of deluxes. They had to include collector cards instead. Now, you can see here that this particular version of Dragstrip has a comic, and that's because this version of Dragstrip is sort of a revision release. He was released at the time of the second wave of figures when the second wave of deluxes were able to include a comic book. Now, I don't know if the other figures from the first wave will have a release with the comic. I haven't seen it. But I know that Dragstrip does because obviously he's here with a comic, so pretty cool. Now, but taking a closer peek at him in the packaging, you could see Dragstrip there. Pretty cool. I believe these are his iconic colors of yellowish orange and reddish brown, I guess you could say, with a little bit of gray or silver there. Pretty cool. And you can see also a couple of weapon accessories. One of them actually is a weapon accessory that can be used as a hand or foot for Menasor, which is the combined form of the Stunticons, which is pretty cool. Here on the side of the packaging, even though this is a revision release, they still included the sticker for Superion, when they should have included the sticker for Menasor there. Kind of weird there. And here you can see a picture of Menasor as part of the Combiner Wars releases. And you can see that Dragstrip is the first of 5 sets to create a Menasor. Here on the side of the packaging, just a clear window to the figure. Pretty interesting. Bottom of the packaging there. And here we have the back of the packaging. And you can see the picture of Dragstrip there in his bot mode, and below that in his alt mode. And it takes 9 steps to convert between the two modes. And let me just move this up a little bit. You can see a description there of Dragstrip. And on the right side here, you still have the packaging pictures of the aerial bots. Again, Dragstrip was released as part of the first wave. And the thing is that Hasbro is promoting the idea of the Combiner Wars in that you can mix and match figures, at least the deluxe size figures, for the limbs, which is kind of neat, and also just between different Transformers. You really don't have to put Dragstrip with the Stunticons. If you want to, you can put them together with the aerial bots, and that's what Hasbro is showing here. And he's an arm of the aerial bots, even though he doesn't fly. You could see the other members there of the aerial bots, which Dragstrip is a member of. Now, I don't believe he ever became a team member other than through the toys, so that's kind of interesting there. So, but we'll be right back and have a Dragstrip out of the packaging. Okay, we're back and we have Dragstrip out of the packaging. And what we're going to do is take a look at the items that came included with Dragstrip first. And this one here is basically the transformation instructions. It's pretty interesting, and it's in a accordion-like fold-out format here. So you basically just unfold this here, and it shows you how to transform Dragstrip from bot mode to his alt mode, and on its way back as well there. And on the other side you have basically the parts that you can use to create a not a Menasor, but of course Superion, this being part of the first wave of releases. They just didn't bother to reprint for the revision release of Dragstrip. So there, and there's also instructions on how to create the various limb modes, such as the arm mode there, and really simple for the leg mode. So that's the instructions. Also included in the set is a comic, a customized cover, or a Hasbro exclusive cover of IDW's Transformers comic series, and you can see the nice artwork there of Dragstrip on the cover. And there is no information as to what this is a reprint of, but the indicia on the inside does indicate it. It is the Transformers Combiner Wars number 4. Now, I don't know if there was a series titled that, or if this is just a reprint of an ongoing series or not. So, but the inside cover here does show the story so far, and has some nice artwork there. But I believe this is a reprint of an earlier series there. And also kind of neat on the inside cover, back cover, is Decepticon Dragstrip On Desk Genesis, basically showing you the various phases in the production of Dragstrip, such as the sketch phase, the gray model phase, and the finished product. And some neat little pieces of, I guess, artwork used during the development of the figure. So that's kind of cool. And there. And the back cover here looks similar to the backing card. We get the photos of Dragstrip in the bot and alt modes. But here on the right, you have a little bit more detailed description of Dragstrip reported by Soundwave. So it's pretty cool on there. Nice little read there, and some more information here. One thing that's missing that I noticed are the stats. They're not on the backing card, and they're not on this back of this comic. So that's one thing that's kind of missed from the toys, or the stats for the characters. But that's the comic book there. And a couple more items we have here that are included with Dragstrip is a weapon accessory. Now these are cast in a color shade of purple, although the camera is showing it is a bluish color, but it's actually purple. The camera just has a difficult time processing the color purple. But this here is a weapon accessory used by Dragstrip. Now it's got 2 pegs here, so I guess you can use it as a blaster mode, Just hold that there, and a or a sword mode here. So that's pretty interesting. It's got nice sculpting detail to it. There. Pretty cool. Whoops. And the other item included is the hand/foot piece of Menasor. You can use it as either one. Right now it's in the foot mode. You can see it's got the toes here and the heel spur on the back, which is pretty interesting. And it does articulate a little bit. You can see how the foot goes downwards, and the heel spur does go side to side. So that's kind of interesting. There's a peg here that pegs to the bottom of the leg of Menasor. So that's the foot. To convert it to hand mode, you basically turn it around, and you can see the fingers underneath. You just flip that open, and you have a pair of fingers. And then what you do is take that piece that moved previously for the foot, you just flip it around, and then push the heel spur, which turns into a thumb, down, and you have a hand mode here. And this of course does rotate, so you if you want a left or a right hand, you just flip the thumb around to have such as a right hand here, flip it around to have a left hand there. Now the fingers on the hand mode are all joined together, but they do articulate all together as one piece there on the fingers, and it doesn't fully extend due to it running into the piece of plastic there. So that's unfortunate, but that's the hand mode, and it does have blasters, which were the toes in foot mode. So that's pretty interesting there. Here we have Dragstrip in his alt mode, and basically Dragstrip, of course, is a racing car, and his need for speed, and it's pretty cool. And I believe this is a Formula 1 type racing car. It's actually nicely designed. It's nice and lean and long, pretty cool. And you could see the features of a Formula 1 type racing car with the exposed areas around the wheel for that open wheel type racing. Pretty interesting. And you could see the front and rear spoilers there. Pretty cool. And this is cast in and painted in a combination of colors, primarily this orangey yellow here, and this maroonish color there, and also some silver paint in certain areas, which is kind of cool. You can see the silver painted here on the tires, the wheels, which is kind of cool. And I really like the paint detail on the, I guess, I don't know if you call them struts, attached to the wheel. It's actually kind of neat here, especially on the front. They have a little bit on the rear wheels, but it doesn't look as nice as here on the front. Pretty cool. You can see the Decepticon logo on the car there, on the hood, and pretty interesting. Underneath, it's not too much. Here, just a lot of detail, which is pretty cool. You can see the head nicely hidden there, just turned around there. But you can see sculpted detail for the underneath of the car, which is pretty nice. It does roll pretty well, although this rear wheel here is stuck a lot of the times, not due to clearance, but because of it just seems to be tight in the peg and doesn't move as freely as the other wheels there. So, but it does roll generally quite well, even with the low clearance. on there. So that this is Dragstrip in his alt mode. Here we have Dragstrip in one of his two limb modes, that of the leg mode, and it is the easiest to transform, especially from the alt mode, and it's just a flip of a couple pieces here, like the front end here, and basically exposing the chest area to reveal the joint for the knee area there. So, and just attaching the foot piece here. So it's really easy to transform from, especially from the alt mode to leg mode there. And it looks really simple. This is how it's shown on the transformation instructions. One thing I did notice is that when take the foot off here, the rear spoiler can flip upwards. Let me see here. It can flip upwards, and it does expose another joint. So I guess you could transform it additionally like this. I don't know if that's required or not, because this rear spoiler doesn't transform or doesn't move in any other mode described in the instructions. So I don't know if this rear spoiler is supposed to flip up if you have another leg piece that may be of a different height, and maybe this is used to adjust the height of the leg or not. But like I said, this rear spoiler doesn't flip up, isn't shown to be flipped up and down at all within the instructions. So I'm just wondering if this is used for height adjustments for legs, for the other leg, for compensation. But I found that kind of interesting, and you just flip that back down if you want to use the default leg transformation. But that's the leg mode for Dragstrip. Here is Dragstrip's other limb mode, the arm mode, and it's actually kind of interesting. This is the official way, or at least what's shown in the transformation instructions, on how to transform Dragstrip into the arm mode. You can see the joint here to attach via the shoulder of Menasor there. And you can see basically the upper arm, the elbow area, and the lower arm there. And it does articulate. The joint itself does ratchet up and down and around. So that's kind of neat. There is a bicep swivel right here, and an elbow bend, sort of like a double joint there. And of course the hand does rotate around the wrist area. And I have Dragstrip's blade / blaster here attached to the hand there. So kind of interesting. You can see more details of the hand as it pertains to the arm of Menasor. Kind of interesting. I do have my preference on how to at least arrange certain pieces of the arm here. I'm not quite happy with the look of the arm mode here. It just seems rather blah. So, but moving this piece around and a twist of the elbow joint area, I think makes it just look a little bit better. And I'll showcase that when we get to the Menasor figure. But as it is, this is the arm of Menasor using Dragstrip as the component. And here's Dragstrip in his bot mode. and it's a interesting design. I guess pretty good from especially from a Formula One race car design alt mode. You can see he retains his lean appearance there, and it's nice and interesting. Taking a look at some of the details of Dragstrip here, you could see the nice detail work on the head sculpt. The visor area is painted, so there's no light piping whatsoever for this particular figure. And you could see the details sculpted into the face. Kind of interesting that the mouth area is not well, it is painted the same color as the rest of his face, but it would have been nice to paint the mouth detail to a darker color, like black or dark gray, like it is represented in the comic cover. Otherwise, the details in the mouth area, it gets lost on there without some additional paint there. But that's kind of interesting. You can see moving down to the chest area, the undercarriage area of the alt mode of the racer there forms his chest area. He's got a nice Decepticon logo on his right shoulder area there, so that's kind of neat. You got flared out shoulder pieces on the arm and flared out along the wrists there. Pretty interesting. And he's got the backpack going on the front end of the car there, just folded over and flipped over. Moving down to the legs, you can see the back end of the car here split open, and you can see that this forms a nice I guess knee or lower leg sort of type of armor there, which is kind of nice there. And you can see the back of the legs there, and the feet, which don't articulate there, which is kind of unfortunate. So he's basically got some blocky feet for the figure. This figure is actually kind of nice. It's nicely painted with that yellowish orange color and that maroon color combination there. I think it does well in bot mode. You have the nice separation of colors on the layout there, so that's kind of cool. Here, going over articulation of Dragstrip, the head does go all the way around, and does go up and down and side to side. It's basically on a ball joint, but there's also an additional joint due to transformation. Basically, you can flip the head all the way back on a sort of extended neck, but that's really more for transformation than anything else. And it's not really head articulation for bot mode. Would have been nice if there was a peg that pegged into the joint here, but that would have required a custom joint. And these joints are basically universal joints for combiners figures, so I guess they couldn't put a hole or a peg into that joint to secure the head in place. So you just have to make sure that the head stays there when moving it around, and you don't flip it open like that. The arms at the shoulders are on a ball joint that has an additional hinge at the shoulders. I don't know if you can see the shoulder there, but that allows the arm to go up and down on this hinge, which is nice. But along the ball joint at the shoulder, it allows the arm to go out about that much and inwards about that much, and does go all the way around, as well as rotate front and back. So that's kind of cool. There's a swivel at the bicep area. It can go all the way around. A single joint at the elbow allows you to bend the arm about that much and straighten out about that much. The hands only flip in and out due to transformation. That's about it. It does not rotate at all. The figure does rotate around the waist all the way around, and due to transformation, but it's still pretty nice there. The legs at the hips are on ball socketed joints, so you can get the leg about that high down and back about that much, as well as outwards about that much. And there is a swivel just below the hip area and the thigh area, so you can go all the way around. The knees do bend about that much and that much out, and no articulation at the feet again. You just can't move that around. I believe you can probably let's see here, get this flipped forward if you want to, I guess, shorten the figure even more, and you can do that if you want. Again, there is no instructions for that articulation joint at all listed anywhere, and I think that's really for the limb mode for height adjustment with the other limb. But I guess if you want a shorter drag strip, you can have him shortened by that much. Oh, I also forgot to mention that due to transformation, you can adjust the length of his legs. So if you really want a very short drag strip, you just push the legs in and flip these over, and you have a really stunted drag strip there. But that's basically it for drag strip here. A nice figure overall, and in various modes. I do like the alt mode a little bit better than the bot mode, and which is saying something, because I do prefer my Transformers more in their bot modes than alt modes. And he does have interesting limb modes as well, but overall a decent figure and pretty nice. This is my casual peek into the Transformers Combiner Wars drag strip. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.